Hi, my name is Brad Helm, and this is a video presentation for MUSC 368 Psychoacoustics. And the title of my presentation is there correlation between music preference and substance use disorder? Let's begin. Introduction. Historically, select music genres, individual artists and bands, and songs themselves have been subject to blame for inciting harmful behaviors in listeners. These include racism, violence, riotings, mass shootings, self-harm, and risky sexual behavior. And at the forefront of all these accusations, substance abuse. This presentation aims to shed some light on the question, is there correlation between music preference and substance use disorders? Should listening to a particular genre, artist, or song be cause for concern? And this, in turn, leads to other mind-bending questions in the reversal. Are certain music types therapeutic in substance use disorder therapy? Do these substances have any benefit in a musician's creativity? Can music be used to alter the mind and induce drug-like effects like recreational drugs do? And if this is possible, would it be helpful or would it be harmful? So many questions, so little presentation time. That said, we better get this magic carpet ride going. Classification of psychoactive compounds. Before delving in too far, we should pause to note the word substance. It encompasses a very large number of psychoactive compounds. Their classification falls into three general categories. First, we have depressants. This would include heroin, fentanyl, oxycodone, codeine, morphine, alcohol, ketamine, GHB, and nitrous oxide, which is a gas. Next, we have the category of stimulants. This would include cocaine, amphetamine, methamphetamine, MDMA, also known as ecstasy, nicotine, and caffeine. And finally, we have the hallucinogens group. This would include LSD, DMT, psilocybin mushrooms, and many other plants. Wait, you caught it right. I missed cannabis. Well, I did this deliberately to make a point. Many psychoactive substances fall into more than one category. Cannabis, for example, falls into three, potentially due to the complexity of the mechanisms in the brain, and in part, dosage matters, and it matters a lot. So this brings up another point. There is substance use and there is substance abuse. Alcohol can be used responsibly, enjoyed in social settings. It can also be abused, resulting in significant harm to career, social structures, health, and finances. You may want to pause the video for a moment to examine this radar plot of the rational harm assessment of drugs. On it, you will find the common substances of abuse plotted against a rating for social harm, dependence, and physical harm. Answering the question. You know how there's always that one person who spoils the ending of a movie? Well, I'm going to jump right to the answer to this presentation's question. Is there correlation between music preference and substance use disorder? Yes. Well, more accurately, the answer is yes, but. In a study by Bott, approximately 18,000 15-year-old males and females across 10 European countries were surveyed to determine if there is a correlation between substance use and the music preference in the teenagers. The substances queried were tobacco, alcohol, and cannabis. The study found that the teens who preferred genres such as electronic dance, hard rock, heavy metal, and hip-hop used substances more than those teens who preferred classical, jazz, and contemporary pop music. And even though each gender and each of the 10 countries had strong preference for the type of music they enjoyed, the author's conclusions remained. In a more recent paper by Chrysalis Wright, published in 2020, data sets were compiled from 31 studies. The meta-analysis examined the influence of music delivery format, genre, race, age, gender, drug type, and location. Yet, even though the study was much more thorough than Boyd's was, genre preference was the strongest correlation with substance use. Now, If you're considering cleaning up your MP3 library, just to be on the safe side, there are two significant confounding variables, which we will explore next. Confounding variables. In 2016, a study was performed with the same goal as the papers previously discussed. For the study, a small sample population of 60 music students were randomly selected, and the music on their portable electronic devices was recorded and analyzed, and the students had to complete a survey regarding recreational drug use. What was discovered? There was no significant correlation between genre and substance use, which, given the small population size, is understandable. However, the researchers discovered a strong correlation between lyrical content in the songs and substance use. Listeners of songs that contained references to drugs were found to be more likely to use drugs. In other words, lyrics matter. The second confounding variable has to do with personality type. In a 2015 study of 400 participants, researchers determined that a high sensitivity for reward is a significant factor that can reinforce either positive life choices or detrimental life choices. The data demonstrated that personality traits matter and should be considered in conjunction with music preference, as they are significantly intertwined. So, what have we learned to this point? The factors that create a strong correlation with substance use are music genres, such as electronic dance, hard rock, heavy metal, rap, and hip-hop, and songs with lyrics that reference drugs. And in addition to that, this can all be amplified for individuals who are sensitive to seeking high reward. Conclusion. So, what can we conclude from this presentation? Music is powerful. So, what we listen to matters. Music can be used both responsibly and irresponsibly. And music requires respect. Music's influence on humanity has always been important, and as we gain better understanding of the vast role music plays and the power it has in those roles, its importance will certainly become more prominent in the future. I believe that as musicians, music teachers, and psychoacoustic researchers, we have an incredibly important role in service of our community and humanity. Finally, I think music is tricky in her personality. I tend to believe she has our best interest in mind. In a world that does not yet recognize how important musicians are, music dawns on us rose-colored glasses, protecting us from resentment, so that we continue to pursue her magic, a magic that brings so much joy to everyone.